What would you say is the biggest misconception about David Crosby?
Probably that I'm a rich rock star.
If you would elaborate on that.
I'm not rich and I'm not a rock star. That would be a misconception.
Yeah.
People think, that if you were ever in a successful band that you're like a multimillionaire, and I'm not. I'm anything but. I'm struggling to hold on to my house. And having to really scramble and do a lot of work at this stage of my life. At 76-year-old, I'm still having to book more work than I can comfortably do, but I need to work because, we lost half our income. The streaming thing just killed us all. Yeah. We don't get paid for records anymore. We still make them because it's what we leave behind and it's our life's work, but we don't get paid for them anymore.
Well, it's that thing, too, that a lot of these bands now have to rely on touring, which ends up not only burning them out physically, but also creatively.
Yeah, it's the only way we make any money is from tickets. And so that does put a lot of pressure on people. And if you think it's hard on a 76-year-old who can do it in a bus, imagine what it's like for, 10 people in a van.
Yeah. And there's a lot of those out there.
Sit up. Yeah, and ride and sit up. None of this lay down in your bunk. That's hard. That's stuff for kids.
Yeah.
Only kids are that tough.
What do you see when you look in the mirror these days?
A really old guy. Really disturbing old guy. Yeah.
But there's a lot of beauty to that, I would say, right?
I see a fairly happy guy, man. I'm not the smartest dude in the world, but I have lined myself up pretty carefully on the things that I think are valuable, and the music and my family are it. That's what matters. Yeah. Everything else, I can try to hit some stuff besides that, but really, that's where my heart is, and I love my family and I love my music, and that's all I gotta have. I don't have to have anything else. Yeah,
it's one of those things where one would hope that the older you do get, that the more you realize it's the things you can't buy.
Mm-hmm. But, I think so.
Well, great rock music and acoustic music, it always will be made, but it's largely disappeared from the charts and mainstream radio. Does that alarm you at all?
I don't. I don't know what to think about it, man. Radio is very confusing. I don't really. I don't know.
Well, I guess I was talking to someone the other day about, when you hear classic rock radio and you hear classic rock tribute bands, and I was thinking right now where we stand in the next 40 years, what are the classic rock or tribute bands going to look like? Is there anybody that's going to, be relevant?
I don't know about that. I know about, I'm always looking for new young people who write new music.
Exactly.
And not, classic tribute bands. I don't pay any attention to those at all.
Well, I mean, the idea that the music was so important that it's still relevant today. Where is that music today, and will it be relevant in 40 years?
I don't know. I have no idea. I do know there is new music coming up that is significant and good.
Yeah. Well, and you see it. There's a big change. Nashville is changing a lot with its attitude towards things. There's a lot of singer-songwriters that weren't allowed in the front door or the side door, but they climbed through a window,
Well, we'll see how it all plays out. I think it's very tough for singer-songwriters now, but I do know of young bands and young singer-songwriters who are terrific.
Yeah, exactly.
Really excellent.
Is there any that come to mind that I should know about?
Mm-hmm, yeah. Let's start with the best new record I've heard in a very long time is Chris Thiele, the guy who does Punch Brothers and Nickel Creek.
Yep.
He's put out a record called Thanks for Listening that is a stunning piece of art. Stunning piece of art. Besides him, also just put out a record, I'm With Her, 3 girls. Aoife Donovan, Sarah Watkins and Sarah Jarosz. Unbelievably talented three women. All three of them solo artists, really, 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 really good, really fine writers, fine singers, fine players, but they have a band together called I'm With Her.
Yeah.
And it is stunning. They just put out a record. Who else? The guy who is the writer and band leader for Snarky Puppy, Michael League.
Yep.
Mike League is a certifiable guy, man. He's an amazing musician. He turned me on to Becca Stevens. Becca Stevens is one of the most startlingly good writers I've ever encountered. She's an amazing girl from the Carolinas and a killer writer and singer and player. Michelle Willis, he turned me on to. Girl singer-songwriter from Canada. Unbelievably good singer. These people are out there, man. They do exist, and they are wonderful, incredibly talented people. And I'm only naming just a couple of the ones I've run across. There are a bunch more.
Well, it's one of those things where I wonder if the people that I admire, yourself included, what it would be like if you had tried to start out today.
Much more difficult, I think. Our timing was spectacular. Yeah. My timing of getting in with the Byrds and then having a hit right away, that just doesn't happen. It was really great. Hey, they're signaling me that I've got to move on to the next
Yep,
call.
I just got one more quick question. What has a life creating and performing and traveling the world taught you about what it means to be a human being?
A lot. It's taught me that you have to slowly work out what really matters to you. There's a lot of distractions in life, a lot of things that seem like they are the path and the way, riches, fame, religion, politics. There's a lot of different things, distracting things that pull us away from the central, issues. But I don't think we're wrong. You and I believe in love, and I think that's really the smartest and best